Every morning, millions of professionals step into the exact same routine. You wake up to the alarm, sit through traffic, stare at a spreadsheet, and repeat the cycle like clockwork until the weekend. Over time, this routine becomes a trap built of bills. You take on rent, a car loan, and 20-year EMIs. When half your paycheck is already promised to the bank, simply walking away from a draining office environment is no longer an option. Motivational influencers often suggest quitting your job to find your passion. However, for anyone with debt or family responsibilities, abandoning a salary without a backup plan creates immediate financial danger. Research from Stanford University suggests that passion is the result of deliberate cultivation and skill development. It is an interest that you grow over time through consistent effort. Leaving this cycle safely requires a strategy that accounts for the specific costs of your current lifestyle. Building a side income without risking your security depends on a structure called the 3E formula: explore, engage, and excel. Running this system requires zero upfront capital. You only need an internet connection, 45 uninterrupted minutes an evening, and the free 100 Careers PDF guide linked below. This process completely separates your daily workplace stress from your long-term ambitions. You secure your current salary to pay the bills, while methodically engineering your path to independence in the background. Step 1 addresses the exposure problem. There are over 12,000 recognized career categories in the global economy, yet the average student is only trained to recognize about 10 or 15 of them. Your first task is to download the career guide and select 30 unconventional paths that look even slightly interesting to you. Then, commit to a strict 30-day timeline. Spend exactly 30 minutes each evening reading articles, watching tutorials, or reviewing portfolios related to just one of those selected careers. This research window must be isolated. Put your phone in another room. No scrolling, no checking messages, and no asking for outside opinions. You cannot aim for a life you do not know exists. Breaking out of the standard corporate track requires you to forcibly expand your dataset of what is possible. After 30 days of research, review your notes and narrow that list to the 5 to 7 choices that held your attention most. Now we test them using the 20-hour rule. You will spend 45 minutes a day, for exactly 1 month, building a real-world project within one of those chosen skills. This means actually getting your hands dirty. If you chose copywriting, write 10 complete blog posts. If you selected photography, borrow a camera and take 100 photos. This is a data table from a psychological study on happiness in everyday life. Notice the highly significant p-values at the far right, which mathematically link flow conditions directly to an increase in personal happiness. Flow state occurs when a task perfectly balances the difficulty of the challenge with your current abilities. Entering this zone eliminates the distraction of time and can increase your output by up to 500%. Experiencing this deep focus is the ultimate metric for a career match. It is the biological engine you need to sustain the energy for a side project after a grueling day at the office. Once you find the skill that triggers your flow state, the initial excitement will eventually fade. You will hit a 6-month stretch where your work stalls, mistakes happen, and nearly 80% of beginners quit. Pushing through this barrier requires grit, a psychological trait defined by researcher Angela Duckworth as the specific combination of passion and long-term perseverance. Grit is a muscle. You build it by executing flawed projects, feeling frustrated, and actively deciding to sit back down at your desk the very next day. To push your skill into the top percentile, use targeted, deliberate practice. Find online courses and systematically drill your weak points until the quality of your output improves. Pushing through the initial discomfort is what allows a transition to full-time independence. When your skill is highly developed, you transition to monetization. Use digital platforms to list your services, find your audience, and secure your first paying clients. But you must follow a strict financial rule: keep your day job. You do not resign until your side project consistently generates 30 to 50% of your primary salary. This progression builds ikigai, the intersection of what you love, what you're good at, what the world needs, and what you're paid for. The 3E formula aligns these pillars. You explore interests, engage to solve problems, and excel to command premium rates. Developing a career with purpose requires the disciplined execution of the 3E framework over time. Executing this system removes your reliance on a single corporate paycheck. It replaces weekend exhaustion with a measurable, profitable safety net. Your next step is immediate. Do not click another video. Download the 100 Careers PDF from the description and select 30 options tonight. Your 30-day exploration clock begins tomorrow morning. Freedom from the daily grind is a measurable project, and your first phase begins the exact moment this